Anthony on Air podcast. Welcome in for another episode. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. The Andrew Cuomo thing continues. Bill Gates talks about his relationship with Epstein. How about Ghislaine Maxwell's getting brought into the whole Cuomo thing with one of his aides? We'll talk about that. A Facebook executive helped Governor Cuomo. There's more Chris Cuomo drama. There is Donald Trump stories tonight. We've got dad with a wonderful Seinfeldian story against his daughter. Something that I've used all my life that I've never actually purchased. I can't wait to share this little revelation with you guys. CNN is firing workers for not being vaccinated. Mike Lindell is off the wall again, talking about things. And the woman who sued McDonald's for their compelling ads. It's a big show. It's a big Frankie C. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. Wait, compelling ads? We'll get to that, I'm sure.
We'll get to it all. Let's start with Bill Gates. He says it was a huge mistake to have spent time with Jeffrey Epstein. He went on with Anderson Cooper, and this bugged me, and I'll tell you why. But I'll play the 42-second clip for you here where Anderson Cooper talks to Bill Gates about Jeffrey Epstein. And this was just after the news came out that him and his wife was done. Here, take a listen to this.
Can you explain your relationship with Epstein? Did you have any concerns? Was there ever any concerns you had about it?
Oh, certainly. I had several dinners with him, hoping that what he said about getting billions of philanthropy for global health through contacts that he had might emerge. When it looked like that wasn't a real thing, that relationship ended. But it was a huge mistake to spend time with him, to give him the credibility of, being there. There were lots of others in that same situation, but I made a mistake.
All right, so he claims that he was just there because of Epstein's connections with philanthropy.
Yeah. So here's my thing. He did a 15-minute hit on Anderson Cooper. 15 minutes, Frank. Anderson Cooper asked him one question. He gave a 40-second response, and that was it. He didn't follow up. He did not follow up.
What else did they talk about? I mean, if you only have 15 minutes with the guy.
I mean, here because he's not allowing it. That's the thing. But Gates is not allowing it, right?
No.
So how about? I mean, there's tons of follow-up questions. You're a billionaire. What do you have? $50 billion dedicated to global health. Why would you reach out to anybody else to acquire more money? You don't. You can't even dispense with the money you have right now. So that's
True.
not a great answer, Bill. What is your answer? But
Well, that's the money
forget,
he has now, but when he had his relationship with Epstein, that was how many years ago?
Still had it. He still had it.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know when he made his billions.
You're right. He had less, but he still had it.
Sure.
Maybe in the 30s or 20s at that time. But let's not forget, and we talked about it on this show just a few weeks ago. Remember Billionaire Camp? Remember when everybody went to that little retreat area? Remember the one billionaire that we were like, is this guy a billionaire? Is he not a billionaire? It was fucking Anderson Cooper. He was there. He was with Gates just a few weeks ago, palling around with him. Then he has him on his show and asks him one fluff question so he can get his little soundbite out there about how he regrets the relationship.
Well, you fell for it. You put the soundbite out there.
But I'm putting it out there because I'm calling out fucking hair. It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, let's get Gates on the show. We'll grill him.
Grill the fuck out of that motherfucker. He'll never, but he would never. See, and that's the thing too, because he could go on anybody. He can go on any one of these cable news people, but he wants to go on his buddy who's going to throw him softballs and not really challenge him with tough questions.
Right.
And that's bullshit. We talked about this premise being total bullshit.
It's all bullshit. What are you gonna do until there's like a Oprah Winfrey sit down with Bill Gates? You're not gonna get full. You're gonna get sound bites like this.
Yeah. And that's wrong because he should be challenged on this. He should be asked tough questions. And, I just I think it's
Well, reach out and see if we can get him.
It will never happen in a trillion years. I have seen interviews where Bill Gates, like, where like his people like listen in. Like you've done that. You've had interviews where it's like the radio tour and the publicist connects you and you have like 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and they listen in. I've seen, and I think, or I heard an interview where they were kind of going off a little bit. Maybe it was Mark Maron, I think. I can't remember who, but I just remember his publicist stepping in and being like, "Hey, this isn't the line of questioning we agreed upon." And they were kind of like, "No, I'm getting to it," but I was just we kind of went off on this little tangent, and we were gonna kind of circle back around to it. We just sat there like,
Yeah, I know it's not fair questioning. I mean, it's very very easy questions he got. Like, what's your relationship like with it? What was your relationship like? I'm
Full
sure
of
he
horseshit.
has a million answers in his back pocket for that question, but he's got to go
he
on
was
someone that's not going to coddle him.
he was using him to raise money, and then as soon as he realized he didn't have that money, come on. We did a good job with those podcast episodes talking about like the fact that there was a young girl there and he stayed later that night, and go back to those episodes if you're interested in this, because there's something there with this fucking guy.
It's a weird thing. He's got to. I mean, I'm sure this is only he's what 2 days out of being divorced. I'm sure as time goes on, he'll be on other shows, and maybe someone will grill him harder, and maybe we'll get him on this show. I doubt it.
No, it'll never happen.
No, I know.
Even if we had 1 million listeners.
No,
Which,
no.
by the way, we passed another milestone. I didn't share with you, but we passed another milestone. I have to share. We've had a hell of a couple of weeks.
Hey, what's the
Incredible,
milestone?
incredible growth. I'll tell you off. We don't talk about it publicly. I don't even know why.
Oh,
Want to talk about this?
lame.
Cuomo aide who brings Ghislaine Maxwell into the mix. I mean, as if you need to write better headlines.
Oh God, was he connected with OJ too? What else? You want to throw everything in there?
This Melissa DeRosa. I mean, have you been following any of this stuff? I mean, do you remember Melissa from COVID with all the updates and everything?
No.
She's like Cuomo's second in command.
Oh, okay.
Well, let me see. She sarcastically likened herself to Ghislaine Maxwell at a heated conference call with two Albany journalists, according to part of this big, huge report that came out the other day. We skimmed it a little more and found this story. She walked or she was talking to the two journalists. And she said, "Am I Ghislaine Maxwell in this situation?" Because she walked in and said hello. Because I just want to make sure that next time I don't look anyone in the eye. She made the bizarre, self-deprecating remark during a conversation with editors of the Albany Times-Union, March 13th, according to Attorney General Letitia James' report. Earlier that day, the Times-Union reported on a June 2020 interaction between DeRosa and Charlotte Bennett, the 25-year-old former Cuomo staffer who'd recently publicly accused Governor Cuomo of sexually harassing her. While castigating the Times-Union editors Brenda Lyons and Casey Seiler over the article, DeRosa repeated her Maxwell analogy as she mocked Bennett in dramatic, affected tones, according to the recording. "You presented it like Melissa Ghislaine DeRosa introduces herself to the poor innocent Charlotte Bennett as she walks through the door with the governor, and the place is lined up looking at them."
What? I mean, people. There are people out there who just say dumb things, and that is a dumb thing to say. I'm sure she was probably maybe reading about this whole thing with Maxwell, and she's like, "Well, this isn't as." She was probably trying to make the comparison of, "Well, that's a huge scandal, and this is such a small scandal," and that's no, you don't do that. That's a stupid comparison.
This Melissa DeRosa, though, they talk about her like she's a bulldog. Like she's, and I think this was one of the people that, it's funny. I thought Cuomo raised an interesting point, and I can't remember now because it was shooting around in our friends group text where he said that if a male executive is tough on people, what did he say? They're in charge and they're smart and intelligent, but if a female executive is tough on people, they're accused of being a bitch, or it's an uncomfortable work environment, or he was saying like there was like a double standard. And I thought somebody in our group chat, and I feel like I saw an article too about it, saying like this guy is in trouble. But boy, did he bring up a good point about sexism in the workplace and how unfairly judged female
Sure.
management is versus male management.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. I mean, there's a lot of double standards like that when it comes to men and women in the workplace. It doesn't, it's like, I don't know why. I mean, I don't know why people are so uncomfortable. My boss is a woman. It's not like it's not 1950. It's 2021. We gotta, it happens. You have to. It's all the same thing. It doesn't matter who your boss is.
Yeah, but a lot of the articles are running around saying that she's been tough and people are like afraid of her and like she rules with an iron fist and that thing. And
Well,
now
it's not-
people and that she's like now she was but that she was bullying people into squashing these Cuomo stories. Like she was basically doing the Ghislaine work. Really, is what they were all accusing her of.
Well, that's a little different. The Ghislaine work. That's
Well,
extreme.
it is. I'm just saying, like the number two, she's a female.
Yeah.
It gives you that weird sense of comfort. That kind of that
Yeah.
whole end of it.
Anytime. I mean, you could be a female boss and be a bad female boss. I mean, that exists. I mean,
Of course.
so and
You know what's crazy? In my whole, I don't even remember. I don't know how long I've been working for now, but in all of my years of working, I have only had two male bosses. I have predominantly worked for women my entire life.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, I mean, I can't count how many jobs, but I think more women. I've had more women bosses.
Mine is literally like 14-2. Like it's not even close. It's not even close. I've
trying to
always
think of
worked
male.
for women.
I've had male. I feel like it's close to even, if not more, slightly more women than men. For me,
Is that yeah?
I think I'd have to go through and count, but I think it's very close.
Yeah.
But that's good. That's the way it should be.
Well, I don't know what it says about me. They're like, let's get this guy in here. He's, like we like the same movies. We could talk about.
What?
We could talk about When Harry Met Sally. I like this guy.
See, are you saying that the women? See, now you're putting down your women bosses.
Yeah, I guess I am.
You're saying the only thing they're good for is watching Harry Met Sally. That's no good. Douche.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying my taste in film is very feminine. That's what
And
I'm
that's
saying.
that's the only thing your bosses have going for them: their taste in film.
I guess so.
You sexist bastard.
I know it sounds terrible, but yeah, it's like like people say like, oh, and I'm not saying that doesn't exist women in the workplace or that there's more men in charge than women. Those issues definitely happen, but it's been my experience that I have been predominantly been bossed by females over males.
Agreed. But one thing I do find is that my female boss's boss is usually the head guy, and it's always a man. See, I usually have, for the most part, I've had a female boss, and then her boss is the guy. I've never had it.
Yeah, I have to think
Whenever
about
I've
that.
had a female boss, their higher up is a guy.
It's just wrong, Frank. It's just wrong.
I know. It's an unfair world so far.
Also, the aide who accused Governor Cuomo of groping her filed a criminal complaint today.
Okay,
So
good.
it's
So
going to
it'll
be up
handled
to-
in court.
It's going to be up to the Albany, the prosecutors up there, if they want to move, because it's just a complaint. If they want to actually bring charges against him, so this could we just update. Last time it was all civil. They said it was all civil. This is the first here's a criminal complaint.
So what does a complaint do, as opposed to a charge?
It goes then to the It goes to the prosecutors, and they have to decide if they have enough evidence to file charges, and then it would go to trial.
Alrighty.
Or he would be arrested. Basically, yeah. So that could be happening. And supposedly he was basically hiding today. I saw one tweet come from him, and it was about.
That's not hiding, right? I mean, he had this big speech 2 days ago. I mean, how's that hiding?
Well,
Was he out there every day?
Yes, he's the governor of
right.
New York State. Was is he out there every day? He's only
Every
running one of the
single
largest
day.
states in the union. Yeah,
You heard from him every single day.
every day, whether you hear from him or
don't pay
not,
attention.
he's still out there doing stuff.
I try not to listen to.
I know. I understand. I believe it. I believe it. But he was not out today. But he did send out his lawyers, and they basically had this big, all the women are lying press
So
conference.
he made it to Friday, though. You said the last episode that Friday would be the day
Yeah.
that he would be, if he's not ousted by Friday, then he's got a chance.
He's got a
I
chance.
Right.
He got a chance now. He did these 2 days. He's got a chance now. Now, if she files criminal complaints and he gets arrested, that's a different story. I don't know if there's really enough there because, again, Letitia James, who's the attorney general, when she put everything out, she said this is all civil. There's no criminal. There's nothing criminal in this. It's all civil. It's all between people.
Right.
So I don't know. If it's up to the people up in Albany if they see fit, if they feel like there's enough evidence to arrest him. They think they could win a trial here, then that's a whole different story. Here's the other thing, too. If more stuff comes out, that's always a key element to these things. If more people come out, he ain't going to last that. I don't think he's going to last that. But I haven't heard any new people popping up. This person who filed a criminal complaint was included in she was one of the original 11 that were in the complaint from the attorney general. So.
Right. See how it goes.
Let's see how it goes. Chris Cuomo, this is something that I need to bring up. His in-laws, meaning his
Wife's parents.
Rainer and Regina Greven. Great name. I like the name Rainer.
It might be Rainier.
Maybe it is. Like the mount.
Sure.
Chris Cuomo's father and mother-in-law attended a fundraiser for Congressman Lee Zeldin. That's the Long Island Republican.
That's right.
The guy had the flags.
Yep.
He is mounting a campaign to run for governor of New York State, Lee Zeldin. And Chris Cuomo's mother and father-in-law attended a fundraiser for him.
Hey, everybody's entitled to back who they want to back.
Yeah, but that's rough. That's a rough.
It's kind of rough, but you know what? If they don't, maybe they might be close with that guy too. Who the hell knows? I don't know, man. If I was running for something and my in-laws went to the other guy's fundraiser, I mean, I don't know.
This would be like
rough.
This would be like this would be like your in-laws going, who's got a good show? Is that Sean Atwood on YouTube? He's great. Be like, what the fuck?
I've never seen it, but I'm sure it's good.
Sure, he does a nice job, but how about a little fucking, you got some people in the business here. Throw a little our way.
They throw money at Sean Atwood's thing, and we're sitting here like, hey, we do a good show.
We have a thing.
We do something.
Yeah, that's kind of this is fucked up.
Yeah. Oh well, maybe they're not as close. Well, it's not really. It wouldn't be mine. It would be my brother. If Millhouse were running, and my in-laws went to a thing again for the other guy, wouldn't be for me.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously you can do whatever you want, but I feel like you got to kind of like.
Yeah. Do you have to attend?
Like you have to go there,
send money.
Yeah.
You want to send money? Send money. You have to go
vote for him for fine, but that's kind of
It's kind of a slap in the wherever.
Slap in the face.
Right.
Slap in the face.
Very nice.
I guess they weren't bullying around mom and dad-in-law. That's the thing. They've been bullying around everybody, these Cuomos. You know what else they said too? That the women of CNN, this is some sexist shit. CNN is the only network that doesn't have a woman in prime time. That's fucked up. And that the women of CNN have not really spoken about the Governor Cuomo situation. Fox News, believe it or not, that's what we got to go with. It's hypocritical, but I always do like when one of them nudges the other, like when CNN investigates Fox.
Oh, they all,
Fox,
yeah.
They're like dicking each other over.
They always
Fox
do that.
News did a did a report. They ran a report on everything that was said. I guess they just record the other channels and run transcripts just to see what was out there. Could you imagine being an intern at one of these media companies? How
No,
miserable that must be.
no, because everything you do, everything you do, you're probably going, I can't write this as you're writing it. You know,
No, but not only that, it's like here's 2 days worth of transcripts for CNN. Go through that and see how many times they mentioned Governor Cuomo. Like that's miserable. That is a miserable existence.
some people like to read all that crap.
I don't know.
That is miserable, though.
And they were saying that the women anchors throughout the day, that whatever, they're not really even talking about this, which is again such hypocritical bullshit.
If
Because
that's true, I haven't watched it, so I don't know.
I mean, that's what Fox News is reporting, and I believe everything.
Wow,
that
everything
cable
they
news
say
says.
is gold.
Well, I mean, I feel in this case though, I could put credence to this. They have to be accurate because if they're not, then CNN's going to fire back with another fucking report. And
You
they're
said
gonna,
they have to be accurate. Come on,
yeah,
when do they
got-
ever care about having to be accurate?
when they're fighting against their competitors, I feel like they got to get it right.
Fake news.
Speaking of which, Facebook helped Governor Cuomo.
Really?
Yes, a top communications manager at Facebook helped Governor Cuomo fight sexual misconduct allegations, including helping leak a confidential file about accuser Lindsey Boylan, and by participating in regular discussions about Cuomo's communication strategy, according to the New York Attorney General's investigation. Danny Lever, who had worked in Cuomo's press operations since 2014 but left in August of 2020 to join Facebook as communications manager, played a key role in Cuomo's communication strategy even while working for Facebook, according to the investigation released Tuesday. So it's good to see Facebook getting dragged through the mud on this one as well. Yeah.
Wait, how did they? I don't understand how they helped him. I must have not heard it right, but
They took part in the discussions and they leaked a confidential file about Lindsey Boylan
why would they have take part in the discussions?
because they went back because in the last 6 months or 4 months or whatever since this investigation's been happening, while the New York State Attorney General has been investigating Chris Cuomo, and a whole team of people have been plotting on how they were going to handle all of this coming out and what they were going to say about these women and how everything was untrue and they can't be trusted and all this stuff. And making that video and that we talked about last episode, all of that stuff is all premeditated. It was all put together by this team, which included Chris Cuomo, which, by the way, CNN told him, like, we don't think this is great. Why don't you take a leave of absence? And he said, I'm not taking a leave of absence. Instead, I'll just not talk about my brother when it's gigantic news. They got to be so pissed at him. They have to be pissed at him.
I can't imagine. Yeah, they'd have to be.
Right? I mean, his own father-in-law is giving money to Lee Zeldin. I feel like Chris Cuomo is in a lonely spot right now.
I mean, Chris Cuomo is probably praying for the day that this is all behind, and he's like, he can get back to his life. Because if your family is the topic of the major news story, what do? You have to talk about it, or you have one of two choices: either you talk about it and you just be as impartial as you could be, or what? Or you leave the news? How could that be the option?
Well, it depends. All right, so this is a great story. I went through this personally. Remember Anthony Weiner?
Sure.
He was I don't even know what he was, a state assembly person or city assembly
Something like
person.
that.
I forget what he was, local politician. And all this stuff comes out about him and all that stuff. I mean, I had a field day with this guy. This was on the air here in New York, and I dragged this guy every day. It was the story. It was like for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It was a huge thing, right? Then I get invited to do this charity dinner fundraiser thing. And they're like, do you want to talk to some of the chefs? And I was like, I love chefs. They're all interesting to me. You know, like you think about Bourdain and all these guys. I had the pleasure of interviewing Eric Ripert, who was one of the best chefs in the world. It was thrilling. So I'm like, yes, give me as many chefs as you can. The first name they gave me on the list is Jason Weiner, who is Anthony Weiner's brother. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, what do you do here? So now I'm like, I don't know, do I talk about it? So anyway, I wound up, had a little rap with the guy before we did the show, and I never talked about anything with his brother. And you want to know why? Because he was just, I mean, I think we broached the subject a little bit. He was just a guy who liked to cook. And he was running his own life, and he had his own restaurant, and he wanted nothing to do with his piece of shit brother. You know what I mean? And it was evident in all our conversations. Right. And I think I said to him, like, oh, this is crazy. I'm like, how are you doing with all this stuff with your brother? And he goes, it is what it is. He goes, I try and stay away from him. And, you know, I'm just doing my thing. And I talked to him more, and we had long conversations, and then we had the thing on the air. And I never, like, what are you going to do? You leave the guy alone. He didn't have anything to do with it. You know, he didn't help
him being a chef. Did he ever make a recipe called the Carlos Spicy Wiener? Because that would have been perfect. That was the name he went under. That was his Anthony Weiner. In one of the exchanges, was asking whoever he was talking to call him Carlos Spicy Wiener.
Is that right? I vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
Anyway, his brother Jason's a hell of a fucking, like, cook his ass off, like, and he's got a really great place in the Hamptons.
I have so many questions for chefs. Every time, you know, I would love to interview the biggest chefs and whatever, because there's so many things. I love all the cooking shows.
Yeah.
My wife and I literally just got into, like this week, Top Chef. We never watched it. And we're on season 2 now. We're binging it.
Yeah.
It's so good. I mean, I'm sorry, but everything Gordon Ramsay does, all his shows are good.
Gordon Ramsay's incredibly entertaining.
Yeah.
Incredibly entertaining.
Uncharted, it's great.
I feel like outside of actors, musicians, comedians, but those are people who all perform for people. Outside of those people, chefs are the most interesting people to talk about.
Yeah.
Because they are in such insane like, have you ever been in a kitchen, like a real...
It's chaos, but it's organized chaos.
Mm-hmm.
It's something coming in from the outside. You have no idea what's going on. But the guy in charge, the head chef, he knows everything everybody's doing.
Yeah.
And he has to time everything. It's insane.
It's crazy.
To be that focused for that many hours,
I did. You know, it's funny because so for a while we were doing a lot of chefs on the show, and I did one chef, high profile chef, not nationally known, but known in New York, big deal chef. So I go in her kitchen, and it is quiet. Now usually there's like music or there's just yelling, and it's always hot, and the fans are on, and it's, you know, commercial fans, like getting all the exhaust, you know.
Oh yeah.
And I go in, and outside of the fans, there's nothing. And I said to the maitre d', I go, why is it so quiet? And he was like, oh, she requires a quiet kitchen. And I was like,
that doesn't make any sense.
I have to leave. I can't
every time you see a cooking show, it's communication. You got to be talking, yelling at times, and I got this ready. Are you ready to go with that?
There was
table this, table that.
There was a little bit, but it was
no chatter, no chatter besides the work related stuff.
Yeah.
That's weird to me.
It was
in a
weird.
kitchen.
I said, I was like, I gotta leave. Like, I'm gonna do something wrong, and she's gonna get pissed and kick me out of here. I can't be here.
Hey, what are you cooking? Hey, how's it going?
But they're great, and I'll tell you what, the fucking barbecue chefs are even more psychotic, because these fuckers they're like, I'm gonna smoke this for 33 and a half hours. It can't go above 200 degrees because it'll fuck everything up. So I gotta sit here and make sure these wood logs are.
Oh God,
they're crazy.
Yeah, no, they go nuts. The smokers. Then you got like, what was it? You got all these. There's always these niche people, these chefs that have their own. You know, this is my sauce. I have to. It's gotta be exact. But I don't understand. Like, I have so many questions.
Yeah.
Like, I've always wanted to ask chefs that.
We could get some chefs on. I'm still close with a bunch of them.
Let's get some chefs.
If that's what you want, we'll get some chefs on. They're fascinating. They're all I mean, think about it. Like, if I said to you, hey, do you want a job where it's 900 degrees and you have to stand for 10 hours from 5 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the morning, you'd be like, no, that sounds
Yeah,
horrific.
kiss my ass.
Yeah, and that's basically what most of them do. And
And
that's
I
what.
feel like they're wearing the worst things they could wear. Like they're wearing white, which shows everything.
Yeah.
Whatever you drop on yourself or wipe on yourself. And they're like heavy. Is it me or are those things like not as light as they should be?
Yeah, they look weird. The pants are all weird too. They wear like always like these pajama-y type pants. It's very strange.
I mean, I understand things splash, you don't want to get burnt, whatever. But I feel like t-shirt maybe or like try to wear the lightest thing you can because it's a
Yeah.
million degrees in there.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't have like the AC in there.
Try being in there with cameras and microphones. It's like crazy.
Yeah, no, it's not an easy job.
It is crazy. Did you ever, and this is for everybody, if you really want to read a fantastic book, Anthony Bourdain's Kitchen Confidential, the book that put him on the map. Did you ever read it?
No.
Frank, it's a must read. Usually there's a lot of hype around books and some of it's bullshit sometimes because you're just trying to sell books. That book is so brutally honest on what a chef's life is. Like he was holding back no punches and talking about everything, drug use and working conditions and, philosophies and their methods. And it's so fucking fascinating. Like it is so good. Like there'll never be another book like that book. It just came at the right time. People were hungry for information on chefs. He was brutally honest and had a nice way of writing about him. It's so
I
good.
feel like Gordon Ramsay, all that kind of stuff. They kind of like this chef renaissance. Because
Yeah.
20 years ago, nobody, chefs were, all right, you're designated to the Food Channel, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But now they're everywhere, and everybody's so fascinated. They got a million shows. They're all over the place. And it's like chefs are the new, like, they're like rock stars now.
Total rock stars. But did I tell you the story? Did I tell you the story about the meat guy? Who's the meat guy? What's his name? I can't think of it. But I did this grilling event. It actually just came up in my memories not that long ago. And I was there with the Restaurant Impossible guy. What's his name?
Oh, I can't remember his name.
Anyway,
I don't know.
he's like,
Wait,
crazy.
you're glitching. Hold on.
Uh,
All right, try again.
good now?
Sounds okay, but your picture's
All right.
frozen. But go ahead.
My face. Even making a little bit more hands with these days.
Glitchity glitch face.
Sorry.
Nope, got nothing there. So yeah, chefs are great. You did an event with one that you're trying to remember, but I have a bunch of questions I would like to ask. Like, for example, one question I would ask is microwaves. If you see a microwave in a professional kitchen, is that a sign that it's a bad kitchen, or is there a professional use for the microwave?
No,
There's zero use for the microwave.
that is a bad
Defrosting,
sign. Yeah, no.
no microwave ever. Like, what if they have like a popcorn thing on their menu?
No, because they'll literally just throw it in the pan with some hot oil and pop it themselves.
That go everywhere. If you have like, what's it called? Like, maybe I guess so. Yeah, I'm trying to think. If so, you think that there's zero use for a microwave in a professional kitchen? Like you can't defrost something, stocks or soups or something? Probably not. And then you
No.
throw it in the pot.
Not at all. Not at all. Robert Irvine.
Okay.
So I did this event with Robert Irvine, and we judged. I'm trying to find the picture of us because the guy is more important. Anyway, the point of the story is we're judging this thing, and Robert Irvine's there, and everybody, like, he's the big draw, right? So all the people that are there to eat, they're all there to see. They're all like making a big deal over Robert Irvine. But there's also 40 chefs, some big name chefs cooking in this competition. And they're all kissing the ass of the fucking meat guy. I can't think of his name right now, but there's a famous meat guy, Pat. It'll come to me. Anyway, they're all treating this guy like they're all like, who cares about Robert Irvine? Like this guy, because they all want to get the good meat. It's like
He's like a distributor, like a meat. He's just
yes.
okay. That's weird. I
Yeah.
never heard of
Oh,
like people
he's like-
clamoring over a meat distributor.
He's like the meat guy.
Okay.
And
You mentioned.
he gets like the meat for Pat LaFrida.
Never heard of him. Sounds awesome though.
Yeah, Pat LaFrida meat purveyors. He provides like the meat for everybody in like the New York area. So they're all kissing his ass. I've never seen anything like
He's
it.
got to have good stuff.
Yeah, I even like kind of like said to Robert, I'm like, they really like this guy. He's like, oh, he's very important.
You don't get from him, you're getting crap.
You getting shit. Yeah, you get the shit product. And they were all like, hey, Pat. I'm
Wow.
like, I don't get it though. You're like he's like, yeah, no.
Yeah, you get some bad meat sometimes. That dude must give you the top of the line, good prices. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh, that's the whole thing. Prices, because you're not, your meat is everything.
You want to hear the grossest meat story I have?
Yes, I do.
Okay. When I was working as a butcher, this was 20 years ago, give or take. We had the bandsaw, it's called, because it's literally a saw. It's a huge, like, picture a giant rubber band, but it's a saw. Okay. And it just spins, and that's how you cut the bones, if you're cutting big steaks or something frozen, you just use the bandsaw. And this guy was cutting, he had a huge loin of pork on the bone, so he was making pork chops, cutting them up into individual pork chops. He gets to the middle of this thing, and he hits a tumor.
In the meat?
In the meat. We didn't, how do you know it's in there until you cut into. So he's making, and then he gets to this fucking cancer-riddled ball, this tumor. And I got to tell you, two things. One, the smell was so gross.
Oh, really?
When he hit that thing, the smell just immediately. That's number one. Number two, it was like he hit a pocket of melted cheese, because the whole bandsaw and everything around it was just covered in whatever the hell was in this tumor. It was just everywhere, all along the bandsaw. It was just like it was like a water balloon full of regatta, just exploded all over.
Oh, God.
We had to shut the whole area down for the day, and do a deep bleach clean, everything. We had to rip the machine apart. It was like it took us down for like 2 hours, because we had to do this huge deep clean. It was disgusting, and you don't know what's in there. That was the only time I've ever seen it. I worked for them for 8.5 years, and I've only seen that once. He just hit it, and right in the middle, and you don't know it's there. It's not like they're X-raying everything. And there it was. Boom. It was gross.
That is super disgusting. I didn't even know that something like that could even happen.
Yeah, I mean, animals, they get these things just like any living thing, and it just happened to be in this big long loin of pork with the bone, and it just went everywhere. It was so gross. Yeah.
The fact that it had a smell to it too is disgusting.
Yeah, no, it wasn't great. It was not a great moment.
Do you remember smells?
Oh yeah, smells. They say smells are like the thing that brings you back more than most other senses. Like if you see something from your childhood, or if you hear a familiar noise, if you smell a familiar smell, not just childhood, but whenever you're, the past, it brings you right back. Smells are the biggest memory. It brings you back easily.
I got to tell you the smell story. I found the picture of the event. There I am with a creepy old man. And
Is that the guy that created Jurassic Park?
And there's Robert Irvine.
Oh, okay.
And the guy in the blue, that's Pat LaFrida. He's the guy everybody
man.
So we're at this huge table eating food, and everybody's going over to Pat to talk to him, and Robert's sitting there like the ugly girl at the prom.
See, I'd be hanging with Rob LaFrida. I'd be like, dude, give him the attention, because now he's the only one. He's gonna glom onto you.
Yeah.
Because you're the only one dancing with him at the prom.
So this is a gross story. I've told this before, but when when I was in college, I worked at the airport, at JFK Airport, for British Airways in the cargo thing, and so somebody was shipping shrimp across
Oh, you're glitching out.
Uh,
I know.
all day I'm fine, and then it's a show and it's shit.
Yeah, a big meat or airlines are shutting you down here.
I know, big line. My
Big
bad.
meat, big meat. But you did. You worked for their what's the British Airways? You said.
British Airways, yeah.
All right, you're back. Go ahead.
I'm actually enjoying this more because watching you struggle to come up and fill this time.
I could
it's
feel
great.
it. I just had no desire to at that moment.
Anyway, yeah, it was really interesting though. We used to have this guy who used to go and go clamming, oysters, and he would ship stuff over there to a restaurant every like Friday, and we'd have to get his stuff like right in. It was always interesting. But anyway, not him, somebody else. They were shipping shrimp for whatever reason. Happened.
Glitched. As soon as you said shrimp, it glitched again. Every time you say shrimp, for some reason, it blocks you out. This guy doesn't want you to talk bad about him. I don't know
Not
what to tell you.
gonna say now.
No, nothing.
Returning. I
All
slept
right,
with your
I think
cousin
you're back.
once. I always want. Oh,
Yeah, she said it was very disappointing.
shut up. Anyway, they were sending. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
And something fell through, and somebody didn't pay, so it never got on the plane. So they put it out on the tarmac, and then it got stuck in this whole agricultural whatever thing. It was there for 2 weeks
Oh.
in the summer.
Oh.
Do you know what that's? I can still remember that smell. It was the most horrific smell ever.
Oh, it's got to smell like just raw garbage smell. Just that low tide seafood grossness. Ah.
Awful. Absolutely awful.
Did you have to dispose of it, or what did they do?
It just, I mean, it just sat, and
It's still out there to this day.
every day it like its radius grew, and like the stench of it. Yeah, it was awful. It was absolutely awful. All right, let's move on to President Trump. This two things with him. Second thing is better. First thing I found interesting, he criticized the U.S. women's soccer team and called them too woke. And that's
Why?
why they finished in third and didn't win at the Olympics.
The hell does that have to do with where they placed in the Olympics?
This is classic President Trump.
I don't think he knows what woke means.
This is what he said. If our soccer team, headed by a radical group of leftist maniacs,
Oh my God!
Wasn't
the
woke.
soccer team, you asshole.
they would have won the gold medal instead of the bronze. Woke means you lose everything. That is woke goes bad, and our soccer team certainly has.
Told you didn't know what it meant.
They should replace the wokesters with patriots and start winning again.
What the hell is he talking? He's gone. That's just that's the ramblings of a crazy person.
Is
What
it
does that
'cause
even mean?
We were
What does that
winning
have to do with
medals.
soccer?
We were winning soccer when he was the president. That's all I have to say.
Were we?
Yes.
Okay. How'd we do 4 years ago? You have no idea.
I have no idea.
Okay.
All right, this is the best.
This is wonderful, this next story, because it's classic. It's right up there with anything and everything he does. But go ahead.
Classic Trump.
Yeah.
President Trump is introducing his supporters to Trump cards.
Yeah.
This is a membership card
Membership to what? Nothing.
to the Trump fan club.
And what does it get you?
You're not a patriot.
Nothing.
Because if you were interested in saving this country, you'd want to get one of these cards.
Well, you know what it does? It puts $45 into his pocket and gives you a piece of plastic. That means nothing. That's what it does. It's $45 for that card.
Why are you so mean? Why can't you support America?
America I support. This guy is a dick. But if you want to show a picture of the card,
Yeah,
I think
bring
that's
it.
the best part of it.
No, I'm
Best
gonna bring
part
it
of
up
this,
now.
it's classic. I mean, there's two major things about this card, or three, I'd say. One, it looks vaguely, and and this has nothing to do with politics, but just the look of the card looks vaguely Nazi-ish.
No, you're crazy.
Doesn't look at that eagle. Look at the eagle. Look
I'm
at
gonna
the
start
red
calling you
color.
Rachel Maddow. Okay,
I'm telling you. Look at
you're
it.
crazy.
You're an idiot. So, wait, let me see. So,
I'm looking at it. It's on the screen right now. Sorry to people who are listening to the episode. I always say it's great to watch on YouTube. You can watch on Facebook too, but I do prefer YouTube if you don't have a preference. You can get the link and information over at anthonyonair.com. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I got it on the screen.
no, but this is the Nazi thing next to it.
All right, hold on. Wait a second, because I can't see you now. Hold on a second there, big man.
There you go.
I mean,
I'm just saying, and the red color just seems weird. I know it's Republican, but the best part about it, forget the Nazi thing. If you don't, it's a comparison. I'm not saying that he or anybody who supports him is.
all right. I really wanted to hammer you for the Nazi thing, but that
was close.
It was close.
All right, and then if you look at the bottom left image on your screen, not only it's laid out okay, I guess, but for 4 images, you'd think they'd have someone maybe check for typos, because when you're putting out an official card, you want to make sure it's 100% official. Because if it's not, people are going to complain. If you don't get that official stamp of approval, what good is the card? I mean, are they going to accept this official card at any official Trump locations? I don't think you're getting into the official Trump club unless you have the official Trump card.
Is that your official stance on this?
That's my official stance.
All right.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay. That's all I'll say about that.
So these are the Trump cards. On Wednesday, Trump's PAC sent out an email to supporters asking them to choose their favorite design. This is so Trump. This is why I think this is why people love him. I will say this is what entertains me about him. I know people get upset with him. I know you're very angry, but I am entertained by this man. I mean,
Sure, it's a little entertaining, but he's taking advantage of people. This card gets you nothing, and it just gives him $45. All right, you could have it and say, "Look, I have a card that says Trump on it." If you like that, good for you. Spend the $45. It's your own life. It's your own money. Spend it. You get to have a card. Great. But if it gave you discounts, maybe he has a shop that with his merchandise.
Well, he's not fucking Costco. What do you?
He has. Oh, you can't stop it. The guy sells more shit than Costco. Give me a break. You want hats, T-shirts, flags. You go to this guy. Don't tell me he's not hawking merchandise. Maybe you get 5% off at his stores. No,
5% cash back when he
you
gets
think
up?
that? You think Hey, you buy this Trump card, as long as it's a fickle. You got to go to it. You go to his website, and you get 5% off a hat if you want to buy one of his hats. That would have been good. No.
Well, I mean, it's not for discounts. It's to show that you love America.
Well, all right. Where do you show it to who? Hey guys, look, I have a Trump card. Good.
I get if a friend of ours pointed this up, I would slap it right out of their fucking hand.
Oh yeah.
That being said, I'm buying you one. I want you to know you're getting several of these.
Good.
Okay?
You keep spending $45 on it. It'll keep ending up in the garbage.
I absolutely am going to do this.
Go for it. You're gonna just waste $45. Go ahead.
You're gonna wake up and find these things on your front door.
You want to spend
on your car windshield.
You want to spend that money? Go for it.
For a goof? Hell yeah! I've spent more on lesser goofs. So anyway, so the PAC sent out a couple of emails on Wednesday asking supporters to get on board with carrying the cards, and then it asked them to select which one would be the official card.
A fickle.
I'm sorry, a fickle.
Which that one has my vote, by the way.
The card you select will be carried by patriots all around the country. They will be a sign of your dedicated support to our movement to save America, and I'm putting my full trust in you. The Trump team sent a follow-up email. We're about to launch our official Trump cards. Fickle. which will be reserved for President Trump's strongest supporters.
They're reserved.
We recently met with the president in his Florida office and showed him 4 designs. Originally, we were planning on releasing just one design, but President Trump saw the cards on his desk and he said, "These are beautiful. We should let the American people decide. They always know best."
But if they decide, how's he going to trust the results?
The emails did not outline exactly what entitled one to carry a Trump card.
See, I would question the results of that. If they're voting, you can't trust these, because what if it's rigged? What if it's all, if someone votes for this card, but that other card should have won? That's all I'm saying. How could you trust it, is all I'm saying. I don't know.
But I love this idea of he saw the designs and thought, let the American, that's such a Trump Republican thing. Like, let the people decide. They know what's best. They could make the decisions. Put them all out there, beautiful.
But they couldn't make the decision 6 months ago. 8 months ago, sorry. They didn't trust them with that decision.
The Trump card is the latest fundraising merchandise. In the email on July 26th, it also announced it was selling signed photos of President Trump for
See, now that isn't
$45.
That is actually, if you're a Trump fan and you got an autograph, I could see that as being a nostalgic thing, a keepsake. If you're a big fan, great. I just do not see the use for this. Like, I understand the signed photo.
Oh, see, I think the photos are worse.
What? No, it's like a thing. If you want to hang it up, whatever. If you're a big fan, I see that as that's something. That at least, you could look at whatever you want. It's a piece of nostalgia, it's history.
All right. Well, listen.
This has nothing.
Let's bring in President Trump's official graphic artist, and that's Jay Sabs. What's up, Jay
Sabs in the
Sabs?
hizzy.
What's up?
We're looking at the President Trump is releasing official Trump cards.
A fickle.
Frank is upset because they misspelled official in the bottom left-hand corner when it says official.
Oh, I can't even see.
You can't see the cards?
I have to go way in. That's what she said.
You really don't. It's one of the bigger spelled words.
Jay Sabs, are you getting a Trump card? Because I'm buying 10 at least for Frank over the next couple of months.
You're going to spend $450.
I sure am.
Okay.
Am I getting what?
Are you going to get a Trump card? Are you going to buy an official licensed Trump card?
For what reason?
To carry it around because Patriots. I can't believe the two of
I'll
you.
carry
Don't
that
you
around
love
before
America?
I carry a vaccination card. Kidding. I don't get like what's the purpose of
Thank you.
carrying a card around.
Right.
To show that
point.
you love America and that you want to save it. Damn it.
What does the card do though? Like, it shows who, what?
You know what? I'm going to get you 2 pro-Russia cards. Why don't I get you some China cards?
Well, I am Russian, so
Oh,
sorry.
hold on. Let me write that down. Send that over to my friends
You are American, damn it.
in the government. Yeah, I don't know. This is strange, but I feel like they're going to sell the shit out of these things. I don't know.
Oh, of course they
I feel
are.
like a lot of people are going to buy these. Now, going back to this, we just said that they're also selling autographed pictures of him for $45. Frank said that that's better. I think that that's worse. I think
it's better
You
Yeah,
think
if
that's
you're a
better
fan-
too?
If you're
Yeah,
a fan
'cause-
of his, it makes sense.
because like where do you think you would even have to show this card? I don't get
Thank
it.
you. See, now I was suggesting, like, if you wanted to buy his merchandise off of his website, this card should give you like a 5% discount or something. But it doesn't.
It's not about Costco savings. It's showing your patriotic love
So
for
the
America.
hats and the banners, that's not enough. This little card is going to do it.
Well, we already sold a lot of the banners. So
I don't get it. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Thank you, Jay Sabs. And I know Anthony doesn't get it either. He's just being a dick.
Right. He's like, maybe they'll finally agree on something. I'll shut up.
you guys are lined up on that side, so I'm gonna go over here for a little while and see how this works.
He's like, I completely
Yeah.
agree, but you know what? Fuck
How do
it.
you feel over there?
Ratings.
Exactly.
No, but I think this is like a sad, like this to me.
Oh wait, hold on a minute.
Say what you will about if you
ahead.
like Trump, it's fine with me. But to me, this feels an awful lot like giving money to that preacher that has the $45 million house.
Yeah.
That he's out there hawking Like we need to,
Like Joel Olstein, is
like
that his
Joel
name?
Olstein.
Right.
Yeah. Like
He's a
people,
supposed billionaire, but he needs your $45.
like people keep giving
Just like the Catholic Church.
these, just like the Catholic Church. Excellent point.
Oh, we need money. We need money. But yet we have a totally different country in our another country.
Yeah. Sell some of that fucking marble you got lining up your walls, and you'll be all right. You'll feed the poor. But yeah, I agree. Like, but people keep giving money to these people.
Yeah. I know. I mean, it doesn't, you're not getting anything from this card. It doesn't do anything. It's just it's a 10-cent piece of plastic that gives $45
What?
to Trump. That's all it does.
I am just annoyed by anybody who has an overly large passion for anything that doesn't end in a score. Like if you, sports fans, I get. If you have a passion for anything else outside of that, I have a sketchy opinion.
It's weird.
It's very strange.
It's weird. Good. At least we're all agreed that this is a useless, weird thing.
But like we all know people who are like die hard, and this whole Patriots thing, it's getting out of control.
Well,
So if
wanna
you
hear
don't buy
something
this
funny?
card, you're not a patriot. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I know someone that I went to elementary school with who was a huge Trump supporter. Used to post daily about him and like about the election and all these different things. And he's a patriot. He's a patriot. All of a sudden, he doesn't like Trump anymore. It's very weird. Like it's.
Did he
it's
give a
just like-
reason? I'd love to know.
No, but you know what? I'm so tempted when he posts these things on Instagram to be like, dude, why don't you? What's with Trump now? What, you're not going to buy the Trump card? What's the issue?
I would love to hear
I really
his answer, his
want to know
opinion.
why.
You got to ask him. I would love to know. Yeah.
I really want to know why.
Are you close enough that you could ask him?
I mean, like, not really. Because so obviously, like, recently he keeps posting about he's a big I never wore a mask. I never got kicked out of a store. What do you think that some little 17-year-old kid in Stop and Shop is gonna, not let me in the store? And I was like, well, couldn't they? Couldn't they just say
Yeah.
you can't come in? Like,
Yeah, and if he pushes his way in, they call the cops. That's all.
or if he was already in the store and took off his mask. I mean, honestly, I don't know, because I was never in a situation where I saw anyone like refuse to put it on and then like not leave. I don't
saw
know.
that.
I
was
haven't.
I was in a store. Someone that wasn't wearing a mask. This was in the middle of it all, and he wasn't wearing a mask, and everybody was, and he just got ripped up by some guy. Just started yelling at him. Why aren't you wearing?
Like an employee or someone else
No,
work?
just another
Oh.
customer. Was like, you got, and the guy was like, oh, I can't breathe with it on. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? You can't breathe with a piece of paper over your, it's like just that.
But
It was a shouting match. It was
if
great.
he doesn't post about it 3 times a week, how he's never worn a mask and no one ever like said anything to him about it. If it's if it's not 3, it's more. Like this is what he writes every week. But now it was like he deleted his account for a bit, or not deleted.
Or
he got banned. And then when he came back, no more Trump.
Wow.
And I just wonder why. I'm very tempted to be like, what happened?
I would love to know why he's toned it down or doesn't support him anymore. Whatever the answer is, I don't know what it is.
But he still thinks, because he does still say that the election was rigged and like there was a lot of loopholes. But he is not for Trump anymore, which I really do. I am very curious why.
He's not the
But
president anymore. I don't
Back
know.
back to my point is, if he did still like him, he would definitely be one of these people to buy this card. For what reason, I don't know. So
I mean, we were promised a social media site, and we get a card.
I wonder, though, to Janine's point, if the card, the election stuff, like all these things, like you start to look at all the things that didn't happen, or start to go into the things that are just flat out like money grabs, if that's the thing that like turns people off to him. So I'm dying to know what it was.
he does
Hasn't yet.
agree. He does agree that the election was rigged. Like he does say that. So obviously that's what Trump said. But he's against him, but still says it's rigged.
I wonder what made him change his mind on Trump. What did he do that
I don't
that
know.
made him,
Maybe it was the cards.
could have been the cards.
Could have been the cards. Who knows?
I mean, if it's not a fickle, you can't put your trust in these cards if they're not a fickle. That's all I'm saying.
You're an asshole.
You got to make sure that stamp's on there.
All right.
fickle.
Speaking of the election, let's move on to the My Pillow guy. We're coming up on the.
Can we take this card down?
Yes.
Thank you.
Whoa,
We're coming up. We're coming up on the.
my hair's very beachy. Sorry.
This. Would you go to the beach today?
Yes.
I love that. You're just, my hair's very beachy. Would you go to the beach today? No, she went to the moon.
That was an idiot thing to say. The My Pillow guy. He's back in the news.
Wait. Let me interject here. That actually isn't a dumb thing to say because there is
It's not.
a
I'm
spray.
just making fun of him.
There is a spray called beach waves. So if you put it in your hair does become beachy without going to the beach.
Was it put out by Cosmo Kramer?
No.
The beach.
Oh, God.
But you could have gone to the pool. I mean,
That's true too.
Then it would be very pooly.
it would be. It would be.
Oh God.
I just shit on Anderson Cooper to start the show, but I'll give him credit for this. This is an actual in-depth report. CNN did a report, and they interviewed the My Pillow guy, and they went to the districts where he said that the election was stolen. And one of them in particular was, I want to say, like Ohio or something. I don't fucking know. But what I found interesting is they went to one of the places where he said that there was votes stolen from Trump. Trump won the thing. And so they went there and they interviewed the people, like the legislature and all this stuff, and they went to the people. They showed them the machines, and they're like, these machines are not connected to the internet. Now, there was a thing that said that there was. We talked about it a while ago, so that's like up for debate or whatever it is. But they showed like the process, and the woman basically said, like, we went through and then we counted everything to make like we hand counted to back up the computer count. And she's like, everything matched up identically. And so they told Lindell that, and he was like, "Oh, they don't even know what happened to them." Like,
Of course.
I was like,
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Unless there's a camera on him and he's physically hand counting them himself, he'll never believe. It's like Flat Earth. Unless people see it for themselves, they're just always going to believe Flat Earth.
Well, they also they also took because he released some metadata, and they sent it to 19 election computer expert people. All of them said this is just basic simple data. Like, that's all this really is. So Lindell is now offering $5 million
Oh God.
to the person who could prove him wrong. So he's inviting people to the symposium. If you think he's wrong and you can prove it to him, he's going to give $5 million.
I mean, that's
See,
not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea, but he's not going to accept whatever proof you show him. If you show him the numbers, you show him sworn testimony from every counter in every state. Oh, they don't know what they're doing. That's not proof. What proof is he going to accept?
I don't know.
Right? He's not going to accept whatever you put in front of him. It's going to be, well, that's flawed, or that's.
Do you want to hear some of
fake.
this?
What is it?
Stole away precisely 3,215 Trump votes and turned them into Biden votes. The Republican county clerk, Nancy Perzrocki, finds the allegation laughable for one main reason.
It is never connected to the internet.
Never.
Never connected to the internet at all, whatsoever.
Not only are they not connected to the internet, the votes are cast by hand on paper. Voters scan their ballots into this Dominion scanning machine where two digital storage cards keep a tally. The paper ballot goes right into this bin under lock and seal.
And that container is sealed.
And just to check that everything went okay, they conduct audits, comparing the ballots to the results on the computer. And in 2020, it was an exact match.
We audited 3 different precincts and they matched exactly. So
So what would you say to somebody who made a documentary that, among many counties, accused your county of being the victim of a Chinese hack that changed the vote counts?
I would say that didn't happen in Delta County.
A Republican-led Michigan State Senate investigation found out it didn't happen anywhere. No evidence of widespread or systematic fraud.
I don't think you really understand how votes are cast, collected, and tabulated in this country.
Okay, you know what? I do. But what you don't understand is they can get, after they're tabulated, they can get hacked after the fact, which they were, because Donald Trump was going to win anyway. Donald Trump was going to win anyway.
The paper ballots
You
which
didn't
were
do an audit
cast
to match them up,
were
though.
audited against the machine
No, they weren't.
count.
No, they weren't.
In these counties,
No, they
were, Mike.
weren't. No, they weren't. Who told you that?
The county officials
Oh,
who
did they tell
it.
you that? Well, they're going to have some answering to do.
No matter who says there was no widespread fraud in the election, whether it's local election officials, secretaries of state, judges, or even Donald Trump's own attorney general, Mike Lindell's conclusion is the same. They are all wrong.
All these county officials are lying.
I don't know. They might be misconstrued. We'll say misconstrued because they don't realize what happened.
Lindell says his information comes from multiple sources, all of them super secret. He claims he's spent millions on the project and also claims he will give $5 million to anyone who proves him wrong.
Mike, you can make up anything.
Who can? No, you can't. This is where.
you are-
No, this
you are
is where.
just going to have
no,
a
no, no, no,
demonstration
no, 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 no,
in
no.
a
This is
room.
where you're wrong. We're giving it to all the. We're giving it to the cyber people that show up. We're going to give them each state. Here's a state, Georgia. They can take it apart.
You could possibly be the victim of a scam here.
Well, then why don't you come to the symposium and make $5 million? Are you worried about me? We should give a hug. You're worried about whole money?
I feel like somebody called him and was like, "You think your warranty's out? Also, the election was stolen. I have some
my
evidence."
God.
for you."
Warranty, I gotta get on top of my warranty because it's running out. It's like, no, that's a scam, and so is this.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I mean, you could literally say anything
And he doesn't believe
and
it.
say, I could say the plastic bag behind me is yellow, even though it's white. And everybody will say, I'll say, prove me wrong. You can't prove me wrong. And then someone will show me a yellow bag compared to this, and I'll go, no, that's wrong. I see it as yellow, so that can't be right. And no matter what, I could just keep fighting and fighting and fighting, and it's my opinion at the end of the day, and I don't have to pay off anybody. That's how this is.
Wow.
He's not going to believe any of it.
I agree.
don't know.
We have to see how he gets himself out of this now because he's putting
Yeah.
up $5 million. I feel like you know that guy who's on TikTok who just does all the simple things and then goes like this.
He just,
Yeah.
We got to get that guy there. That's we got to get
Yeah.
there.
Imagine they already asked him.
That'd be the best.
yeah, that would be
That
good.
would be the best ever.
But I don't understand what he will accept as evidence because there's nothing yet. You could go through every county and audit it and go through everything matched up perfectly. We went through everything. Nope, I won't accept that.
Which
Why?
trump
'Cause it's
card
not
do
the
you
answer
think?
you want.
Which trump card do you think he's gonna get?
If he gets one, it's got to be a fickle.
It does.
Oh God.
Let's go back to shitting on CNN. That's where I like to be. That's where I'm
Cool.
more comfortable.
Uh-oh.
3 CNN employees fired for going to a company office without being vaccinated. The media firm CEO said in a memo that was leaked yesterday. In it, Jeff Zucker warned the company that has a zero tolerance policy about allowing people back who haven't gotten the life-saving shots, according to Deadline, who released the leaked email. Thus far, we have left proof of vaccination to an honor system while we have asked for attestation. Maybe this is why people can't.
Attestation,
What
like
does that
people
mean?
can attest to something.
To your status via pass card, it has not been mandatory to produce a vaccine card, Zucker wrote. In the past week, we have been made aware of 3 employees who were coming to the office unvaccinated. All 3 have been terminated. Let me be clear. We have a zero tolerance policy on this. You need to be vaccinated to work in the field with other employees, regardless of whether you enter an office or not, period. We expect that in the weeks ahead, showing proof of vaccination may become a formal part of the Warner Media pass card process. Regardless, our expectations remain in place. Are they going to get there? I feel like they're going to get the shit suit out of them.
Yeah.
For this.
I'm gonna. Of course, I'm gonna be the guy that says this, but it's their policy. It's a news organization. You're working around other people. You have to go by their standards. That's what they. That's what they
I feel like
imply.
this is going to be a Supreme Court. I feel like in the next
Maybe.
3 months we're going to see 1 trillion lawsuits, and it's going to be a Supreme Court thing. It's going to be
Well, you can't go into certain places like your office and like you can't go into your office in the city. Like people, like our company sends us a thing. If you're vaccinated, you get on. You go on a list. You can only come in a certain day. You violate that. You can't just come and go as you
right.
please.
But what about
Wait,
okay?
you've been back to work, Frank?
I have not.
Oh, how come?
How come?
Please,
Because they don't want anybody in yet.
Oh, I thought you said your company is doing this.
No, I'm saying if your company does that.
Oh.
Actually, some people in our, I haven't gone back, but people have gone into the office, like people like IT people and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
the,
this is
the low-level
work.
workers haven't come in yet.
Beach Boys going on tour. Should be great. No, but here let's say somebody actually their doctor told them you cannot take this vaccine. It may be life-threatening to you. Now what? They're shit out of a job?
Yeah.
No, you tell your HR or whoever, listen, can't get vaccinated. There's got to be something we can do. There's got to be exceptions like that. If you physically can't get the vaccine,
Right.
Well, it
You
sounds
shouldn't-
like zero tolerance sounds like no matter what, you can't. If you don't get it, that's it. That to me, that's what it sounds like. Even if it's medical.
But not even that. Here's the thing. And here's where you're stuck here, Frank, because I agree. But here's the thing: if there's such a thing called HIPAA, you have the right to privacy. So if you can't, if I
You
say
can't
it's a
ask.
medical
Yes,
reason, you
can.
can't
HIPAA,
ask.
HIPAA only protects it's a doctor-patient confidentiality thing. So your doctor can't disclose things outside of, but you can to me. I can to you, but your doctor can't disclose your
But
medical
can my
information.
employer demand that I tell them? Like, because
No.
I thought you can't ask somebody if they're pregnant. Like, I
Has
know
nothing
that
to do
Yeah.
with HIPAA. Oh, that's not HIPAA. That's just employment. That's like I don't know. There's like an employee thing. I don't know. It's nothing to do with HIPAA.
What-
HIPAA is a
what
medical
doesn't?
thing. Like if
Just
your
asking?
company asking you a medical thing, there's nothing to do with HIPAA, but it has to do with employee
It
rights or
actually
something.
falls under discrimination.
Right. It's something like that. But with this, I think there's pandemic, like special emergency things. Like it's not like they're asking you, are you vaccinated from birth? They're asking you, is this pandemic? Are you vaccinated against this disease that's a big deal right now? It's not like they're asking you, are you pregnant? Do you plan to become, it's not, they're not asking
And I
personal
have been
things like
asked that before.
which is,
If
I
you're
don't think is
pregnant?
right. I'm not sure how illegal
Not
that is. I don't
if
think
I
that is.
am.
You're planning?
Are you planning?
Yeah, I don't know if that's.
When are you planning?
Are you
Yeah,
planning
but-
on becoming pregnant again?
Absolutely fucking not. Sorry.
Why not?
3 pregnancies in 3 years, 2 of them,
that's-
including summer. No.
I
Not
thought you were
again.
going to set a record there for a little while. It's
No.
true.
Yeah, that is. For a while, I couldn't picture you not pregnant.
That's what your brother said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly. He's like, you look weird to me. I was like,
Yeah.
Thanks. Like I
Did
didn't
you
know what
lose
he
a
meant.
lot of weight?
He's like, just maybe put something underneath your stomach or something. I was like, okay, well, underneath
it-
your shirt, underneath
Hold
your
this
shirt.
fruit basket, please.
Yeah, I was like, okay. It's obviously to me, I don't think it's right to mandate that your employees do that. Actually, I have a friend who is a nurse at a hospital over here. I almost said the hospital. And since it's a state hospital, I guess the mandate is that you have to get vaccinated. And she did not get it. And she's going to go work someplace else
Wow.
Well,
because
there
of
you go.
this. And she said it's upsetting because and it's not just her, it's a whole bunch of nurses that she works with that are like, we don't want to get it yet. If we get it, we don't want to get it right now. And they obviously, again, feel pressured to get it. Now, they are still wearing a mask, so that's not different. She said it's very upsetting to her, and I agree. I don't think anyone should be mandated to take a shot.
I don't think anybody should be mandated either, but I think people should do it. I don't think they
That's
should
your
be
opinion, though.
forced,
Like, you know
but
what
I
I
think
mean?
they
Like,
should, especially if you're working in the healthcare industry. You're helping a lot of sick people, and if you somehow have it and it's bad,
That's an especially tough one because you're probably around a lot more vulnerable people. But
yeah,
for
she just
CNN, I mean, these are camera people and
well, there are people out in the
producers.
field. They're probably that are around crowds and things like that. They want their employees to not be
yeah, but
responsible for doing anything that gets people
the thing
sick.
is, it's like for me, you take a risk every time you go out. And no matter if you're a cameraman, like if you're in crowds and if you do things, like it shouldn't be any different because you're going to work. You know what I mean? Like you're still gonna be in crowds.
Yeah,
I
but
just don't think that they should have them like make them get it because I don't know. I just think it's unfair. It's not. It's CNN. I mean it's just news.
They're not the only ones though. I feel like this is going to be everywhere.
You think so?
I think we went from talking about you need to be vaccinated to go to the Foo Fighters concert to now you've lost a job for not being vaccinated.
Yeah, which
I
is not
mean,
fair. What do you think?
I don't. I think this is. I think it's sad that we. I
it
think
shouldn't
it's
have come
sad
to
that
this.
We got here. False information and
That's the big thing.
lots of weird things. I don't. Again,
What if
I-
someone is just they're unsure about the effects of it, like, and that's their main concern.
that's
That's not my
fine.
main concern, but what if that's what they're
You
afraid
could
of?
be unsure about it, but then you go to you ask like I'm not a doctor, you're not a doctor, that person is probably not a doctor. So you go to the people who know what they're talking about, which is CDC and the people who created these things, and you look at it and you go, they are saying this is safe. It's if you see long-term effects are usually noticed within the first 6 months of the creation of a vaccine. That's been the same for smallpox, for measles. Any long-term effects have been almost immediate.
what about
after
big pox, Frank? Why don't we ever talk
Big
about big
pox?
pox?
But I'm saying like
Never gets the due
like
diligence.
they're just scared of what's going to happen to them in the future. And what if the doctor says, "I'm sorry, but I can't tell you what's going to happen. I can't tell you that nothing's going to happen to you," because I have heard that. So it's like,
Well, if you
know-
have underlying things, that's a different story. That's a completely different thing. But if you're perfectly healthy to get the shot, and you're worried about future effects, side effects, just look at go to the CDC's website. There are no, they tell you vaccines side effects are visible within the first 6 months of distributing. And this thing has been around for almost 8 months now.
A year.
A year.
but
So-
what if something happens in a year? Like that's
What if something
and that's
happens
the
in
whole
10
thing.
years? What if something happens in
Right.
30 years?
Well,
I mean,
but
what if you
see-
get COVID and it's the worst thing ever and you're on a respirator?
I go back to now my little revelation of we are worried. Now we are at the point where we are overly worrying about protecting people that do not want to be protected.
But that's a wrong thing because look at, for example, the person that works in a hospital. That person doesn't get vaccinated, and now they could be infecting other people. Your loved one is in the hospital
I know,
with that
but
person.
the latest
It's not
information
about
that,
her.
that we're learning is that the vaccinated people can pass along. We're just
Yes,
getting
they
less of
can.
the symptoms, but we can
get-
still pass it.
You can pass it, but
Yeah.
it's not as severe as if you're vaccinated and you
right.
get it, you get a less your immune system knocks it the hell down.
So at the end of the day,
But
everybody
if
that
you-
wants to be protected is protected, and the people that don't,
me
then
just
it's
say this.
on them.
but if you're
Sorry, go ahead, Janine.
sick, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oops. If you're vaccinated and you get it,
Yeah.
you're going to get lesser symptoms. So they
Right.
say. But
Okay.
if you pass it to someone else, they can still have bad symptoms if they're not vaccinated. It doesn't
Right.
matter. Like,
Yeah, if they're not vaccinated, they can get terrible bad symptoms or death.
but I'm saying, even if you're vaccinated, you could still spread the same virus load to another person.
No, if you get it, it's knocked down significantly.
Nope. So you're saying that when you pass it to someone else, it's going to be less? That's not how it works.
If you pass it, if I got it and I'm vaccinated, and I give it to Anthony and he's vaccinated, we're gonna be fine.
But what if you give it to me?
If I give
You're
it to
gonna
you and you're
die.
not vaccinated, I don't know.
You're
It's probably
definitely
not
dying.
good because I've read countless stories of people who got COVID and they wish they were vaccinated because they're saying they didn't get it, they didn't get the vaccine, they get COVID and now they're on a respirator. That's like 97% of people who are in hospitals with COVID haven't been vaccinated.
And they also have underlying conditions, are obese, and a whole bunch of
Fine.
other problems.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's not your fault if you gave it to them, and
I
it's
don't care
not.
whose fault it is.
It's their fault.
It's
It's
let's
their
stop.
fault now. Last year it was different. Last year it was everybody should be checked one another. I feel like at this point now, it's on you. If you don't want to get it, great, but it's on you if something
Yeah,
bad
but
happens
it's not
to you.
gonna. Let's say 100% of people in the country got vaccinated, then this virus would be such a small thing that
we wouldn't
nobody
have to
would
worry
care
about
about it anymore. It wouldn't clog up the hospitals because not only is it your people are getting very sick and dying, but people are going to hospitals when they don't have to be, and it's clog and it's
Well, that's
jamming
been
up
since.
everything.
Don't even get me started on the healthcare, because that's the number one reason why people go into the hospitals still to this day, is because they don't have health insurance. So
Well,
they
health
just
insurance,
so they
yeah.
just go there just to get
Yeah,
checked out.
but what I'm saying is, if you get COVID severely, you're going to a hospital and you're taking up space and time from doctors and nurses that could be helping someone else, but they're helping you on something that you could have prevented.
But here's the thing: what if they're trying to help someone who's an alcoholic?
He
That's
could have
someone doing.
prevented it too, but that's an addiction. That's a different thing.
Well, it's a disease too.
It's a disease. But
But
it's an
the thing is,
addiction.
or drug addict. It's no matter what. Like you can't help people who don't want to help themselves in that aspect.
But that's the thing.
Look, I'm against people who are not getting it because they think that they have a chip in their shoulder or whatever. That's like, to me, that's just not
ridiculous. And
rational.
that's part of it. That's
But that's
absolutely
but
part of
Frank,
it.
I don't think that way.
I didn't say you did. I know you don't.
I know, but I don't think that if you got this shot, you're going to be tracked or whatever. Like
No, I know you
ridiculousness.
don't think
like
that.
I just want to say Bill Gates appreciates your thought process here.
me.
Yes. I'm just saying, Bill
I
Gates
know you don't
and
think
George
so.
Soros, we
Face.
agree with you.
I know you don't think that, but all the ingredients are listed on
Yeah,
the
but see, the
websites.
thing is, I agree with you that people are not smart when they think this way. And if that's the reason that they're not getting it, then to me, like, I don't get that. But then again, I don't think like a conspiracy theorist, like
Right.
in that aspect. Like, to me, that's just so foreign to me. But the thing is too, like, if you're a nurse and during flu season, if you don't get the flu shot, you do have to wear a mask. And the people who do get the flu shot, they don't have to wear one. But yet there's been reports of them getting the flu still and then giving it to other people.
Right.
So it's like, no,
So wouldn't it have been better if they were vaccinated, but from the flu?
but they were. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it's a lesser. You're not.
Well, if it's a different, that's what it comes down to. Again, it's like, if it's a different strain, then it
Not
really
different
doesn't
strain. It's
matter.
just weaker. It's a weaker strain.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You get it. It's a flu. It's the flu. But the flu shot protects against 3 or 4 types of flu, the most common ones. And if you get the flu vaccine, then it helps
Do you get it?
lesser the effects. I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm going to get it this year.
Oh, you're all on board. Well, here's
on
the
He's
board.
thing.
like, sign me up, Doc.
Here's the
I'll
thing.
get the flu vaccine. The
I
shot.
hear you save 10% on the flu vaccine with a Trump card. So things are looking good for you, Frank, because you're going to have a bunch in your wallet come fall. You better believe that.
If you're going to
Here's
spend $45 a pop on them, go for it.
Here's
Yeah,
what
'cause
we
we're-
don't have a vaccine for is this McDonald's juicy, delicious hamburger. Look at this thing.
Wait, hold on 1 minute.
Also,
I
it's
did
not
talk-
coincidental that this story that I'm about to read you is next
ahead.
to a story in the Post about the 600-pound life star who died at 30. That's unintentional.
Yikes.
But here's the story today. Ksenia Ovchinnikova.
Sure.
I think she had 40 goals for the Capitals this year. She claims that this is what she's alleging. She's suing the fast food chain after claiming that seeing a mouth-watering cheeseburger commercial made her break her fast during Lent. When I saw an advertising banner, I could not help myself. I'm with you.
I can't.
I'm with you,
can't
Ksenia.
I'm sorry.
I can't help myself either. I know where you're
I
at.
can't. I mean, that McRib comes around. I'm there.
Yeah. According to the Russian state media, she has filed a lawsuit. She claims she had adhered to the belt-tightening custom for a month when she saw an enticing Golden Arches banner advertising a cheeseburger and chicken nuggets. Despite successfully fasting for the last 16 years, the hangry woman couldn't resist and visited McDonald's and bought a cheeseburger.
Wait, is that
And
like just a plain cheeseburger?
That looks like a plain cheeseburger. Yeah.
Yeah, but look at how good that looks.
Does look
Oh,
good.
the little onions.
Oh, my God.
I don't know what it is, but when you put pickles and hot ketchup, it's so good.
He said ketchup.
Ketchup.
Nope, you said ketchup first. Oh no.
Either way,
oh,
I
no.
don't care.
Oh, no.
Ketchup,
oh, no.
ketchup.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't care. It's the way I talk. I don't know. Ketchup. I don't say ketchup. I say ketchup.
Ketchup.
What did he say? Ketchup?
Yeah, he said ketchup.
Oh.
I mean, that's okay. People do say it like that.
Yeah. But it's so good when the pickle and the ketchup is hot. Not a fan of the chopped onions underneath. I'd say hold the onions.
Here's
I
the
like
thing.
them.
You know you're going to. This is what's amazing about McDonald's. You know you're going to feel like shit after eating this. Yet that smell gets you. You can't help but eat it. What is that?
It's enticing smells. They know what they're doing over there.
Oh God.
So this woman's suing because
Anthony's coming
she-
in his pants right now.
this woman's suing because she couldn't resist the advertising.
Everything about it, the way the wrapper sounds, the aromas, it's unbelievable.
Don't make me fucking Uber Eats McDonald's.
Oh,
Don't make me
God.
fucking Uber Eats it.
Starving.
Do it.
Oh, we have a product tasting coming up. Hold on, wait.
What are they called?
We're gonna taste test the new
I'm,
Lay's.
I'm a little fucking pissed that I couldn't go get them, but okay.
The Lay's Dorito potato chips.
Lay's Dorito.
Yeah. Take a guess at how much she's suing McDonald's for.
Got to be in the millions. I'll say 20 million.
I was gonna say 7.
You guys are gonna be pissed. $14.
I can't.
What?
I can't do it. I can't anymore. I want to live on another planet.
Does anything
People-
surprise you?
I can't with this. What is wrong with people? What the hell is wrong with people? You know how much she's probably going to be spending on lawyers and legal fees for a $14 freaking win if she wins?
You know what
which
it
she
is?
probably
It's-
won't.
It's the principle.
Okay. Okay. The principle of what?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
The principle of the advertising worked. The advertising did its job.
Like, how do you even prove, oh, you know what? What you did, what you set out to do, it did.
Yeah, it's your choice to
And-
buy it or not. We didn't force this burger down your throat.
I mean, maybe.
All right. Dad's Seinfeldian payment.
Bye.
I think I know what this is, but go ahead.
A father who had to make his last child support payment for his estranged daughter dumped 80,000 pennies on
Wow.
their lawn.
On the lawn.
This is a la Kramer paying off the
The what was it, paisanos?
Paisano.
For the calzones.
Yeah.
That's all I got. At least that was only $17.50. This, what, 80 divided by 100, was that $8 grand?
80,000 pennies Yeah, here's the story. I'll bring it up on the screen for everybody. He did it in. He had them in like coolers, and he like dumped them out of the back of Look at this guy, John Burkett. How many fucking steroids is this guy fucking doing?
And cheeseburgers.
3.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pennies. At least he rolled some of them.
Yeah. He basically dropped it off at the back of it. There it is right there. I don't know if you saw that. It kind of jumped a little.
You know what's funny? The story is on the right side too. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a trending story right now. But yeah, he pulled up on the back of a trailer. Yeah, see, he
There
put
it
a
is.
trailer up and he just dumped him out on the lawn.
What do you
Anthony,
do
he
if
likes
you're on the
this.
receiving end of that? What do you do? Do you pick them all up? How do you?
Who did Kramer pay off at the end of that episode? Was it Todd Gack?
It was. Oh yeah. He goes, "You gack," and he just
And he
nails
throws
him
the
in the
penny.
chest with it. But for what? I don't remember what he was paying him for.
Because wasn't he paying off a bet? Because remember Todd Gack was betting all the weird things just to get like a date with Elaine. Wasn't that the same episode?
Yeah,
then he-
maybe.
Then he bet Jerry with something, and when he couldn't pay with the pennies, the thing, he gave it to Kramer to pay off the bet.
That
Something
sounds
like
familiar. Yeah. And just nails him in the chest with a bag of pennies.
that. Yeah.
It's amazing.
All right, we're gonna do product testing on one last topic. We're gonna skip the coffee etiquette rules. We'll push that to another show. But I came to a revelation earlier,
I can't wait to hear this.
and I wonder where you guys are at with this because this is fascinating. I am 38 years old. I have never purchased a toilet.
Like
I've
a whole
never
toilet?
Bought a toilet bowl in my life.
Yeah, why would you? Houses come with them.
I use one what else in your life do you use every single day? Some of us 4 times. And you've never actually bought it.
Oh.
I bought a home which had 3 toilet bowls in it,
So you did buy those toilets.
but I've never explicitly like bought a toilet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
We have.
that's reasonable.
Have
yeah,
you
if you're
bought a toilet?
remodeling.
Yeah. I think because it was leaking around the bottom thingy. I don't know what the name of that is. And you're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh at this, but
Whenever you say that, I start to laugh.
I felt like the toilet bowl was very low to the ground and wide. So I said to Catano, you have to make sure that it's not low. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, it's too low. It's too low. And he's like, what? So
Aren't they
of
like
course
standard
I
sizes?
no, they're not.
No,
They
toilets
make
can
them
be
lower
low
to the ground?
Yeah, their size.
So I made him test it out to make sure
In
that
the
it
store.
wasn't. Yeah.
This poor
I
man.
don't think I went with him.
Man
I
is a saint.
But
Yeah,
I
I'm
do
sure he
vi-
tested
I-
them out too. He was like, yeah, this
didn't
one.
go.
Or maybe he measured, but I do vividly remember sitting on a toilet bowl in Lowe's, like, and then pull out my phone and pretend I was.
I could just, you can't, Frank, can you not picture Janine screaming at her husband, sit on that toilet, bitch, see how high it
Oh,
is.
immediately as soon as she
In the
started
middle of the
story.
store?
But I guarantee Guy didn't sit on the toilet. If he went by himself to pick up this toilet, he probably just went, yeah, this one. I don't care.
No, but he had to make sure because it was too low for me. He's like, what do you?
So the one that was in
Yes,
if the bathroom already.
and
was
I was.
too
I'll
low.
tell you something. I was so excited that we had to take it out because I was like, thank God we could get a fucking higher toilet.
Or you could just when you take out the toilet, or you could just build a little pedestal that it sits on. You just prop it up.
No, it was just. I just did not like anything about this toilet. It wasn't that it wasn't clean. It was just the shape of it. It was wide and short.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, because some come wider and some are longer and thinner.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But you have this, like, you ever go to a hotel and you go to a hotel and then you go into the bathroom and all of a sudden the thing is like on the floor, like your knees are next to
Yeah.
your head when you're.
Well, that's
The proper
technically
way.
Your knees are supposed to be elevated higher than your hips.
Yeah, no, I know that. I know that's true, but it's you need some height in there.
You know what bugs me a lot about the bath, like
Oh, God.
when a sink. No, it's the sinks. We went to a thing recently, and the sink was It was just not because the faucet was too close to the wall of the sink. And every time you want to wash your hands, you got to put your hands literally on the wall of the sink to get the water, like inside the sink. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like the faucet should be over the middle of the sink. And it's sometimes the faucet is too
Yeah.
short and it's close to the edge of the bowl in the sink. And you got to touch the side of the thing every time. That annoys the hell out of me. You got to
Oh
get
my
a
God,
faucet
white
that
people
goes over the middle.
problems.
These are white people problems.
I mean,
These
like
are bathroom problems.
But don't you find it bizarre that like,
that's something that you use every day. Yeah, and like
And
you
you
never.
don't
Yeah, it's
purchase.
weird. It's
and you've
weird.
never bought one?
I
And
never
like
bought a
even okay,
stove.
even Janine, you bought one. Like one.
Yeah, but you know what? They're supposed to last for a long time.
Right.
And I guess
ne-
if you never did like a total renovation in your house, like some people do use their old toilet bowls too, though.
Plus, whenever you have to do something, you just repair the part that's broken in the
Around it,
toilet.
yeah.
Yeah.
You don't replace the whole bowl every time. You
Yeah.
repair this, you repair that. So you don't have to buy a new bowl every time. I never bought a stove in my life, and I use it all the time. Oven comes with that. Came with the house.
I bought a stove.
Yeah.
Oh, we never bought a stove.
You never did? Oh,
No.
really? Mm-mm. Yeah. I bought
I don't
a
think I ever
stove
bought
and
a sink
fridge.
either. Never
I
bought
bought
a
a
sink.
sink. Yep, I bought all that. Well, sink is another thing, I guess, too, that a lot of people use every single day, but you might not have bought one
Yeah.
unless you were renovated.
Here's a mystery fix for you. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if I ever told you this, but in the living room, at the front window, there's like 5 panes of glass in the window. One pane of the glass has a hole in it about that big, because
That's what she said.
right, because I guess maybe the rock flew and it just popped a hole into the, like each window has like 2 panes of glass and one pane has a hole.
Oh,
in it.
really? Oh, that's
Well,
annoying.
yeah, so it's not like there's air coming in. It's just the outer pane of glass. And I've tried so many places. The original place that made the windows and installed it, I tried them. I tried contractors all around. Nobody can replace this one pane of glass.
They
Every
want to get a
time-
new one.
They want, not only do they want you to get a new one, they want you to get a whole new set
Oh,
of windows.
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. You want a whole new. Oh,
Yeah, they want me to replace all 5 windows. Basically rip out the front of my house for this one sheet of glass in the front of my on the window. Like you can't just pull out that one sheet of glass and put up a new sheet. What is that?
It's a window racket.
It's a racket. I literally called the people who installed it before we moved in. It was a different, like the company name is on the bottom of the window. I called them and I said, "Could you just replace this one thing?" I'll even buy. It's one of those windows that you crank open and it
Oh, yeah.
opens like that. I'll even buy a whole new casement, a window casement. I'll buy that whole new thing. No, you got to buy the whole set or it won't look right. I'm like, I don't care. Just one window. That's all I need. Nope,
All right.
can't do that.
This is the other thing that's bothering me, and this is a bigger problem than Frank's window. Did you guys ever see Boogie Nights?
yes.
Sure.
Okay. I can't. The ending
smile.
sucks to me.
Oh my God, it's depressing.
I don't understand this. I can't get this out of my
Where'd you get this from?
It's been like 15 years since I've seen this movie, and this is still bothering me. You know, the end when he falls on hard times, and the guy in
Or
the pickup,
unhard times.
the guy in the pickup truck picks him up
Yes.
and makes him whack off in front of him,
Yes.
and then they pull him out of the truck. The guy in the truck, all his
Beats
friends
the
pull up
shit
in
out.
another truck, and they pull him out and they beat him up for being gay. This bothers
He wasn't
me.
gay. He was only gay for pay. Go ahead.
Right, but this bothers me. Like the guy in the truck was thoroughly enjoying the presentation, and yet he was hanging out with all the gay haters and beating up the other guy. That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, it doesn't fly today, I guess.
It ruins the
come
whole
from?
fucking movie.
Where did this come
Yeah,
from?
the guy wasn't hurting anybody. He was just
Because
enjoying
it
a
doesn't
little
make
show.
sense. Because it doesn't make sense.
Because it
Because
doesn't
it's-
make sense.
Right,
Yeah,
because
it's
it's
true.
hate for no reason.
No, but not even that. It's like why would you do it? You're like I understand.
Why would who do what?
I understand if they wanted to just beat up gay people. Right.
That is probably the worst sentence you ever said.
No, you could see he means like
I see the character
understand.
motivation there.
Yeah, I
He's
got
filled with hate. He's an asshole. But then he shouldn't be enjoying it. He should
Yeah.
be like, oh, I'm just like, it should be like.
Oh, the
Right.
guy himself. I forgot the ending.
The guy is
himself
like
beat him up.
thoroughly enjoying it.
Right.
He's enjoying watching it.
and then he beats up Mark
Yeah.
Wahlberg. Right.
Him
Yeah,
and
I don't
his
get that
friends.
either. I
Doesn't
thought
make sense.
someone. I don't remember the end. I thought someone beat up the truck driver.
No,
No, it was the truck driver beat
he
up.
was in on it.
Yeah.
That was like
Right.
their little sting operation. They pick up a guy, they do this, and they beat him up.
Yeah.
But it was like he's
Yeah.
in the truck with the guy for like 20 minutes. It's like this should be a 2-minute thing. Like, and you should be pretending. Yeah, I never got that. Still bothers me to
Disgusting
this day.
sound.
Yeah. No, it's a mystery. It doesn't make sense unless he secretly, wanted
He
to
definitely
enjoy
liked
it
it.
first.
Right.
I guess that's
And then he
possible.
went along with his friends.
And then he just went along with his friends.
Right.
But
That's
that's
the only thing I could think of.
that's a shitty life to live. I think.
It's not
Seriously.
no. If you're beating up people because of that, that's stupid.
Yeah. All
You're an
right.
idiot. So I'm glad you got that off your chest.
It's a big, really big plot hole that I
my
can't.
God.
It bothers me.
You're a plot hole. Oh,
All right. Anything else as we get into the product testing?
let's taste this shit. You're the only one tasting it.
That's
You're the
what
only one
he
that has
said.
it.
I hate this. I was gonna wait. Do you want to wait?
Doritos Cool Ranch flavored. So it's Lay's combined with Doritos. I thought they were two separate.
God, I wish I could
Things,
go to the
but
store
that's-
right now and get it.
Wait, no. Isn't Doritos Lay's or is that a different
I
company?
guess so. I never. Is this the first time Doritos and
Doritos
Lay's?
is Lay's.
Okay, so is this
Yeah.
the first time Doritos and Lay's came together on a product like this?
I don't know. But it's interesting to put a Dorito. Like, here's what I'm wondering: is it just the dusting of Cool Ranch?
Is that
This
what
is
makes it a
Doritos
Dorito?
Cool Ranch flavored Lay's potato chips.
Yep, that's what I
Yes.
think it is.
So they took the dusting formula
Is it the
Recipe.
dusting
and they put it on a Lay's chip.
on potato chips, or
Well, let's see.
is it the dusting and the Dorito on top of the?
Oh,
Well, how could it
Potato
be the
chip.
Dorito? It's a Lay's chip. What's Dorito
once you
part
open
of
it, quick, nacho or ranch?
Nacho.
Oh, Cool Ranch.
Cool ranch too.
I like nacho.
You like nacho better?
Ranch is good. I like
What's
ranch
even
too, but I
wrong
like
with
the other
you?
one better. I like them both, but if I had to pick a front runner, it's nacho.
I like them both. My husband prefers nacho. He's like, ugh, ranch.
Nacho's good.
And I'm like, do you like? It's,
rarely,
it's the best flavor.
I've rarely come across a chip that I don't like.
Same here.
They're all good.
Unfortunately.
They're all good.
I only like. I'm not a Lay's guy to begin with. I only like
This is good.
hard. I like them hard.
Pick.
Oh,
That's
come
what
on,
she said.
Janine. There you go.
Pick a good chip with a good amount of Cool Ranch seasoning on it. Oh my
I'll tell
god,
you
I
what.
want to fucking eat this now. Like
It
come
doesn't
on.
look like it has a lot of. I'll let it focus there for a second. It doesn't look like it has a lot of.
I could see it. It has a lot of those little Dorito dots on it. They look like
Not a ton.
confetti.
Do you like Lay's or do you like Wise?
All good. I don't care what the chip is. I'll
Anthony,
eat it.
eat it because I want to eat it so bad right now.
Oh,
That's
here
what she
comes the
said.
crunching. Oh, you dick. I hate you. I hate you so much.
Holy shit, that's good. Oh man,
What?
wow, that's really good.
Is your wife right there? Make her taste it too.
No, she's not.
Oh, the crunching. Now my headphones are falling apart.
I'm sorry, Frank.
Shit,
That might be.
this-
I hate to say this, but that might be better than the actual Doritos.
Really?
So is the texture of the chip? It's not a Dorito texture. It's not like you're biting into
No.
a Dorito.
Potato
you're
chip.
biting into a potato chip, a Lay's potato chip.
That's a good crunch.
Fucking asshole with the
That's a
crunch.
good crunch.
You really are,
I'm
you dick.
sorry.
I hate you so
Do you
much
want?
right
Do
now.
you want? Do you want? Frank, you would hate this, but one time, flight, me, my brother, my husband, and my brother's wife were eating Pringles, and we were trying to perfect the perfect chip sound. I'm sure you would have just fucking died right there. Okay.
Yeah, I probably it would have been a mass murder in that house if I would have been there.
No, we were on the flight. We were on, I don't know, like a
Yeah,
flight.
and that would have been a catastrophe for everyone on board. I would have flipped out. I would have been the guy that you had to duct tape to the seat.
That's fucking great.
Thanks.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That's really. I'll tell you what too. There was an insane overcompensation for Cool Ranch on the Doritos. Remember when they were like extreme and they were like
Yes.
doubling down on the amount of shit they put on it? I didn't like that. This is actually very, very little, and it's really, really good.
Is it oily like a chip, or is it not so oily like a Dorito?
No, it's oily.
It's oily. All right, so it's just a regular chip with Dorito dusting on it.
That's it. Yeah, it doesn't taste like a Dorito. It just tastes like the Cool Ranch, and it tastes like a better version of like a sour cream and onion.
Ooh.
That's good. Sour cream and onion's good.
Yeah, but it's a little bit better.
I'm in.
This is
Now do I want to
amazing.
eat chips? Now do I want to eat chips?
Next gathering,
Thanks.
baby.
I tell you what, whatever intern came up with this idea, this is brilliant.
Definitely an intern.
Yeah,
Had
let's
to be.
take. We have
Who
all this.
wasn't vaccinated?
We have all this extra Doritos powder. Let's just put them on the chips. Give that man a raise.
Do you think this saves you from an unvaccinated firing? If like, but I came up with the Cool Ranch
Oh, yeah,
chips.
exactly.
I think it gives you an extra couple of weeks to get vaccinated.
You know what? Let him stay.
You'd be like, all right, Stacey, you could work from home.
I was going to go to Target to pick that up, but I wasn't sure if the Target near me had it, and I wasn't like in a time crunch.
Targets are
But
usually
they're, shh.
nice. Targets are usually mainstream chips. They don't really go out
But
into
he-
weird flavors, right?
He got that
Target?
from yeah.
Yep.
So tomorrow, I
Oh,
think I'm
weird.
gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to go tomorrow.
All right, then next
correct.
show you gotta eat it on the show. You gotta get, or you obviously could eat it before then, but you gotta give a review on the next
Okay.
on the next show. That's fucking good. I that's really good.
You're gonna eat the rest of the bag, aren't you? When we hang
Probably.
up? Yeah.
I have a
I don't
feeling
blame
we're all
you.
going to like this chip. We like everything about it. We like the regular chips and we like Doritos, Cool Ranch. So
I tell you what, they made like it's the ever so slightly.
Look at
it's-
him. He's so excited.
They made a conscious effort not to overly flavor that with Cool Ranch. It's very very subtle. That's
nice.
really
Now,
good.
is it dippable?
I wouldn't
Ooh, what
dip
would
that
you
in
dip
anything.
that in?
You
Yeah.
don't dip it?
No,
Because you
well,
don't really dip Doritos.
Yeah.
No. I would
Anything
only
with-
dip a plain chip.
Right. Anything with some kind of weird powder or dust on it, you really don't dip.
You know what's weird though? Why isn't there a Cool Ranch dressing?
I'm sure there
Oh.
is. No?
No, Cool Ranch is so huge, yet all the
haven't
ranch
seen it.
dressings are normal temperature dressings. They're not cool.
Hot ranch dressing probably isn't good.
No. But I will say, like, I don't know if this is everywhere, but like in New York, or this might be a Long Island thing, they love to make like chicken salads and shit like that with like Doritos.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
They do that a lot of places, like a Dorito chicken salad or something where like they'll just crunch a bunch of chips up.
Is that good?
Chips on a sandwich is good.
I've never
Chips on
had
a
it.
sandwich. You've never had chips on a sandwich?
No, I've had chips. I never had the
wow.
Dorito chicken salad, but my wife loves putting chips on a sandwich.
Especially like a tuna sandwich or a chicken salad or something. I don't put them on like cold cut sandwiches.
Oh, that's good on there.
That's what my wife does.
Off to the side, I'll have it on the side, but not on the sandwich.
There's something to me about a Saturday afternoon lunch that is like a fresh roll, nice cold cuts, and some chips on the side. Like that's a fucking Saturday.
It has to be semolina bread. I'm fucking picky with my bread, and don't fucking call it a hoagie because I will go nuts. I will
can tell
go
ya.
fucking insane.
Very rarely have I said this bread is terrible. If it's bread, if you could legally call it bread, I'm gonna eat it.
I'm picky with bread.
I've never
Like,
had a bread go. This is
semolina?
disgusting.
Was that a shot at Subway there? Because you said if you could legally call it bread. I feel like that was a little shot
Exactly.
against Subway.
No, not at all.
Their bread
whole thing.
actually is,
It's pretty good.
from what I
It's not
remember.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, I haven't had Subway in a long time, but any bread, unless it's stale or old or gross, I'm gonna be like, all right, it's semolina. I don't care. Is it this? I don't care.
I love semolina.
But I like a roll. You won't take a roll?
Roll. I love roll. I said any
Nah.
bread.
That's
I'm not a
shocking.
fan of them.
Rolls.
Semolina, a hard semolina or a soft one? I like a soft one.
A soft one with maybe a crunchy exterior. That to me, that's the
yeah.
best.
Yeah.
The best sandwich in the world to me is when you get like a 6-foot sandwich, 6-foot hero, Italian side, all the meats, the roasted peppers, the shredded lettuce, oil and vinegar. That you want to make a ton of money in a deli, every day make a 6-foot hero, put it on the counter, and sell individual pieces. Because it's never the same when you get like a regular. If you ask for an Italian hero, they give you a hero and they give you all this stuff, but it's not the same as getting a piece of a 6-foot. I don't know why.
I'll tell you something, Frank. The place where my husband goes for lunch sometimes, they pre-cut and pre-make the sandwiches like that. They just don't put it on bread yet, but they do all the meats. But he said it's good.
Hey, if it's good.
And it's a good place. It's a good place. But there's another place when we get off air, because I'm not going to give them a free plug, that
Thanks.
Anthony, you have to go to, because it's closer out your way. I mean, this place, I had a hero from them last week. Orgasmic.
Really?
Orgasmic. Okay?
What did you have? By the way, I can't eat Italian heroes. Cannot eat them.
Really? Why not?
Why?
Can't. I don't know. The agita, peppers, and
Oh, see, I don't like the peppers on it. I
Oh,
take the peppers off.
You
but
don't like,
even
it's not that
just
you don't like the taste.
the salami and stuff like that. I can't.
Oh, it's all good.
I always go American.
I don't
American's good.
like the salami.
Tell me what was on this sandwich now. I'm getting excited.
Yeah.
I actually kind of got, it was a little healthier. It was grilled chicken. It was marinated in something. It was so good. Avocado.
Balsamic.
No.
Okay.
Avocado. Pepper jack cheese. Lettuce, tomato. And some kind of signature sauce. Good.
Was it a hot sandwich or a cold sandwich?
Well,
It
the
was-
chicken was probably hot.
Yeah, but it wasn't
Doesn't have to be.
too hot.
The melted cheese?
I would have gotten the cheese. Actually, the cheese wasn't melted, so it was a cold sandwich, I guess. But
Yeah, that's a good combination.
It's nice.
The
on
avocado,
that
the pepper
note-
jack, the sauce. Yeah, that's good. That's why PDQ has pepper jack cheese. That's fucking ridiculous for a
I
fast
love
food
pepper jack.
joint.
I love pepper jack.
Pepper
cheese.
jack is wonderful. And when you get those big platters of cubed cheese at a party,
Yeah,
Oh,
everybody goes for the pepper jack first.
fucking
right.
great.
I
Then
love
the
pepper
cheddar
jack.
and the provolone.
All right, we'll leave it there. You guys got anything else?
I want those fucking chips. That's what I want.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Chips are wonderful.
They're so good. I'm
Don't
trying to
make
think. I don't want to
do it.
be.
Come on.
I
Stop.
don't want to be that front runner that's like, oh, I'll never have a Cool Ranch Dorito again. But
Don't do it, man.
I don't know. They may have a permanent fan in me here.
And she's gone.
You can't hear it from back here.
What?
You can't hear it from back here.
I can hear you.
You can hear me crunching.
That initial crunch.
By the way, I love a folded one.
Yeah, there's something about the texture of the folded one.
What is that?
It's like when you make a sandwich. What's weird is when I worked at a butcher / deli, they taught you the proper way to do it is you crinkle up or crumple up the meat, so the
Yes.
sandwich is fuller.
Yes.
If you just lay the flat meat, it just doesn't look right, and the texture's weird.
Do you want to know what that is though? Because you're
Air.
exposing more, air, and you're exposing more areas for flavor. If you just fold it on top of the other one, you can't
It's
taste
just
it.
it just feels like one thick piece of meat.
I hate that. I hate that when you
bad
get the
texture.
sandwich and it's like that rolled up wave of meat.
Right.
It's got to be. You gotta.
You gotta crumple it, and then stack it.
That's the move. When you place it on the thing, you gotta go like this.
You gotta crumple it.
Yeah,
That's the way to make a sandwich.
absolutely.
Same amount of meat, it just looks fuller.
Maybe the most important thing that you've ever said.
No, definitely is. I'll stand by that.
All right, we'll catch everybody later. Don't forget to grab a shirt, anthonyonair.com or shopanthonyonair.com. Have a great weekend. Enjoy, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Oh, I'm going to eat this whole bag of potato chips.
Enjoy.